Gonna build a mountain from a little hill.
Evening folks, Best in Slot here with your next dose of Planet Zoo news. We're going to keep this one nice and short. We are only looking at one screenshot after all, but there's a few interesting things here and there that I think are worth pointing out. As with the last time, I'm going to link a Google Doc down below if you want to download any of these screenshots for yourself, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think, and what you're most excited about, and did I miss anything more importantly? Now, we're going to be taking a look at this shot from the Planet Zoo Twitter, and they said, and I quote, "Animal well-being is at the heart of Planet Zoo. Be sure to take all of their needs into account when creating the perfect habitats!" Exclamation point. So, what can we learn about that? What can we learn about animal well-being from this screenshot? Well, here's the full shot. It's an empty, again, exhibit with some nice fence design, but seemingly not much else going on. Frontier is really holding back on the actual animals in these screenshots so far after the initial deluge. Maybe Planet Zoo actually has no animals and it's all a ruse, or most of them are ghosts? Both seem pretty logical to me. The first thing though is that this is once again the same zoo as earlier. This is the Grizzly Bear exhibit from the shot with the guests. If you compare the shape of the water here with the guest one, you can see how both it and the presence of that small plant match on both shots. And I promise this is actually important, it's not just a minor detail. There's also some rocks at the back which you can also compare. They do look a little bit different in shape and stuff, but that's only because of the much higher and wider angle of this brand new screenshot. But why? Why does that matter, I hear you cry? Well, that's because of these little guys right here. Two small rounded objects in the exhibit. There's actually a third one up to the top as well. Zooming in on one, we can see it looks like a vent or a drain of some form, possibly tying in with the drainage system we mentioned a few days ago. But if we go back and compare this new image with the one of the same exhibit but with the guests, then the vent matches up with the placement of the fog, the little cloud thingamajiggy, behind the small plants. So basically we can say that these are, at least these appear to be, fog machines. Now, it's that or a heating system, as I've seen some people suggest, possibly a way to combat the cold weather that will be entering our parks at time, but that seems less likely to me. Would hot steam really be an effective heating method? No, it wouldn't, especially in an environment like this. It would go up and then it would disappear. Planet Coaster had fog machines too as well, so this is really not that much of a stretch. And I really think that's what this is, and it's really a good way to decorate our exhibits. We're getting more and more variety in how we build up the atmosphere of our exhibits. A fog machine spreading around our park could give some really cool atmosphere to the appropriate exhibits like the Grizzly Bear one. Alternatively, put together all your spider tanks and surround them with fog so when they break out and kill everyone, nobody knows it's coming. That sounds even better. Anyways, back to the original image, what else can we see? Well, for one, the cave where the bears are living seems to have been given some form of padding on the floor. Now, we've heard mention of having to heat up caves with heating pads for our animals that struggle with colder climates. But straight up, like if you just have a cave, if you just build a cave with the terrain tools, by the way, we're going to be able to make our own caves. Heating up a cave like that should be quite a difficult thing to do, so why not cover the cave floor with some softer padding that can make said heating integrated a lot easier? I assume that's what this is, a way to heat our caves but potentially also make them a little bit more comfortable for our animals as well. After all, the original tweet talked about animal well-being. Every new item we see like this, whatever it is, it's something we manually put in our caves. Whatever it is, every new item like this adds a little bit more depth to our zoo building, especially when we're building exhibits. And that is actually really exciting. It's going to mean they're a much more complicated process than, say, Zoo Tycoon for the Xbox One, for example. Speaking of animal well-being, however, another major difference between the two shots is the coloration of the pool of water. I am bringing up this image. I don't know why I felt the need to show the comparison because they're very clearly different. Previous articles on the game have mentioned how you have to keep your water clean, not only for the happiness of your animals, some anyway, we think things like the hippos probably won't care, but for the benefit of your exhibit itself. Animals enjoy swimming in this game, and if your guests can't see your animals swim, then your exhibits will hold less value. We actually already know that water filters are also going to be in the game and need maintaining, so if you forget to maintain those, or you just don't look after them, or you don't put them in the game at all, this is what's going to happen. And it is filthy. That's the main part of the image gone over really. Fog machines, floor paneling in caves, and dirty water. There's a couple of other things I'm going to quickly point out and then we're going to be done. Told you it'd be a short one. There is a bin or trash can, if you're that way inclined, trash can, on the left, or at least I think it's a bin because it is glowing menacingly at me right now in a kind of HAL 9000 kind of way. It's pretty spooky. There's also this weird collection of lines down the path from the exhibit. Some of them are simply lampposts or streetlights if you're that way inclined. I really need like a permanent English to American translator. Anyway, there's clearly something beyond the lampposts, however, and to me it looks like a fountain, given we have these two blue spurts that seem to be rising upwards. It could have been a hint of a waterfall as well, but the background beyond what I think is a fountain does appear to only be a forest. It only appears to be trees. We know fountains and decorations are a big part of this game. We've seen about 10 trillion dodo statues already, for example, but we haven't actually seen anything in action. And some nice big elaborate fountains, you know, with bears spitting into the mouths of angelic babies and stuff like that, you know, typical fountains. That would really keep things interesting when it comes to designing our parks. Each park should feel individual, and everything we see about this game makes me more and more confident that the parks are going to have their own personality. But right, I told you it'd be shorter. I don't think I've missed anything, but do let me know in the comments down below if you spotted anything else and what are you most excited about so far. There is also a couple of other things. There's a lovely log lying lackadaisically, yes I had to do it, and more of those lights on the trees, but we've covered both of those before. If you did enjoy this video, please consider throwing me a like to be a very cool and hip person, and subscribe for the latest in Planet Zoo news and updates. Thanks for joining me, cheers much love as always, bye bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.